Hello everyone, welcome to the Manta Trends webinar series. My name is Ivy Lamb and I'll be your host for today's event, Social Media Marketing, Turning Likes into Dollars. Social media marketing is a great way to find and connect with customers, something I'm sure you've heard before. What's often less clear is exactly how to reach those customers and keep them coming back. In today's webinar, we'll cover some simple yet effective social media marketing strategies that busy small business owners like you can implement. Before we dive in, I want to cover some important housekeeping items about this event. During the webinar, you should see a slide area, which will allow you to view the webinar. You'll also see 3 tabs: Ask a Question, Attachments, and Rate This. Click on the Ask a Question tab to submit a question at any time during the webinar, and we'll do our best to answer during the Q&A at the end of the event. Under the Attachments tab, you'll find more resources related to today's topic. Go to Rate This to leave us feedback on the presentation, and you can tweet about today's event using the hashtag MantaTrends. If you're having technical difficulties, please email webinarhelp@manta.com. It's important to use this email address because we don't have any way to respond to you directly if you use the Ask a Question tab. So that email address, webinarhelp@manta.com, is the best way to get assistance with any technical issues you're having. Now on to today's presentation. I'm happy to introduce our speaker today, Manta's Vice President of Marketing, Sarah Oberst. Sarah is responsible for small business content, social media marketing, public relations, and branding. Prior to joining Manta in 2015, she was founder and chief marketing strategist for Gut Check Marketing, a small business marketing firm that provided strategic marketing services to small businesses all over the U.S. She began her career in journalism, writing political and feature articles for local newspapers and magazines. Sarah believes that through education and guidance, small business marketing can be simple and effective. Here's a quick overview of what we'll be covering today. Sarah is going to talk about choosing platforms, using social media to better understand your customers, best practices for planning and monitoring your posts, and some tips on content that will keep your customers engaged with your business. And then don't go anywhere, because we're saving plenty of time at the end to answer your questions, which, just as a reminder, you can submit those anytime under the Ask a Question tab. So now I'll hand things over to you, Sarah.
Great, thanks so much, Ivy. Hello, everyone, and thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time on this busy Tuesday. I am going to do my best to get through this quickly, but also make sure that I go into some detail for you so that you can walk away from this webinar and start putting some of these strategies to work right away. So the whole idea of the content that I created for this webinar today is to try to break down this sort of overwhelming concept of social media marketing into easier chunks that make it feel more manageable. And my first tip here for pick a platform, I think, is a great first place to start. And even if you're knee deep or years into using social media marketing for your business, now might also be a really great time to kind of stop and look around at the social media platforms that you're using and maybe start cleaning out the clutter a little bit, as I like to say. I think that, and anyone that has kids will know what I mean here, but feels like there's a new social media platform popping up just about every week. So I think that the best place to start is think about, asking yourself 3 questions as you're getting ready to launch your social media marketing strategy, or if you're in the middle of it and you're trying to figure out how to make it more effective and less time consuming. And the first question is, where are my customers? So a really great way to break this down is if you are a B2C, so direct to consumer, you're a restaurant, you're a retail shop, you're a plumber, that does residential, you're an attorney that does family law or criminal or DUI law, you're dealing directly with the public consumers. You want to think about something like Facebook and Instagram and maybe even YouTube. That's where your customers are going to be, and that's where they're going to be in a good mindset to hear from you as their trusted source for contracting or dentistry or, family estate planning law. So that's where you want to look to. You probably don't need to worry about LinkedIn. You probably don't need to kill yourself to, tweet 50 times a week. So pick your platform. If you're B2B, if you are a plumber that does commercial work, so you're working with other businesses. If you are an accountant that does accounting for other small businesses, for example, then you want to incorporate probably LinkedIn, Twitter, and some Facebook if it makes sense for you. So I think that, again, just pruning in a little bit on your platform so that you're not out there playing what I like to call social media twister and spreading yourself too thin, definitely step one. Once you have picked your platform or platforms, you've also, during that exercise, thought a lot about your audience, hopefully. You need to think about what the conversation with those people on that platform is going to be. So it's right there in the name, keep it social. This is a chance for your small business, for you as the founder and the owner and the principal and your employees if you have them, to show your customers or potential customers what makes your business special. It's time to let the personality shine. So try to keep it informative, try to keep it relevant, keep it short, but keep it human. So, make sure that you're interacting. You wouldn't just walk up to one of your customers and just talk at them without asking them questions. You would allow them to ask you questions. You would think about what their needs are in that moment, and then you would talk with them about those needs and the solutions that you can provide. So, use this every social media post, every tweet, every Facebook post, every Instagram, all of it, as an opportunity to interact with your customers in between sales. This should not be a transaction. It should be an interaction. So provide solutions and advice every chance you get. Ask them what they want. So, is there a new product that you could start offering? Are there different hours that would be more convenient for them, that would get you more appointments? Are there additional services that they're interested in or curious about? All of those kind of things are opportunities for you to allow your customers to help you grow and build your business to better suit their needs, which means they're going to keep coming back to you. This is also an opportunity for you to perform what I like to call real-time customer service. So now is probably a good moment to mention to everyone here that reviews and recommendation sites such as Yelp, those are social too, because if you really think about it, these are platforms on which your customers are having conversations with one another about your business, and it's absolutely a place where you should be involved in the conversation. So don't miss out. Identify sites that have reviews of your business, and there are some tools on the web that will scan all of the review sites and bring back a list for you of the sites that do have mentions of your business. If you happen to find a negative review, no matter how old it is, it's been sitting out there for 16, 18 months, respond to it. And no excuses, just patient understanding. So whether or not this person is correct in what they're saying or not, it's a good time for you to really let your customer service aptitude shine in front of a lot of other people, not just that one who's written the negative review, and turn lemons into lemonade. So, make sure that you acknowledge their experience or what they felt was their experience, and then ask to take it offline so that you can give them some personal customer service to make things right and get things where they need to be. So invite them to call a customer service number or email you, and then take that opportunity to sort of diffuse the situation. But on the flip side of this, make sure that you are finding opportunities to solicit positive reviews from your happy customers. And I've always found that the absolute best time to ask for a review from a happy customer is in your receipt, or in a follow-up email after you've performed a service. So, when you're printing out your receipt or handing it to them, or you're emailing them a receipt, on that receipt should be a link to where you would like them to give you a review. And I highly recommend, if you only do one, do Google, and ask them, looks like you had a great experience. We certainly enjoyed serving you today. We would really appreciate it if you would follow that link and let everybody know how you felt about your experience with the company. People will do it if you ask. It's really surprising how easy it is to get those positive reviews to add up. Another way to solicit positive reviews from previous customers, existing customer bases, is shoot out an email to them, and either offer to enter them into a raffle and give away a $20 Starbucks gift card, or if they bring the review that they've written for you in during their next visit to your store or your shop or your restaurant, you can offer them a certain amount off of their next service. That's always really effective as well. So now that you kind of know what to say, this is a conversation, you're on the right platform, you're not feeling spread too thin, you feel like you have the reviews under control, it's time to start planning in advance. I think that you do need to monitor your social media daily, because that's where you're going to find those opportunities to have those conversations with customers and answer questions. But that's the fun part. So that should be enjoyable. And I think once you get into the habit of it, and once you start getting that feedback, everybody loves feedback, you'll find that it's easier to make it part of your day. But most of the work of social media, the parts that feel like work, crafting the post, getting your hands on images or photos that you can post, scheduling it, looking at the data and the metrics to make sure that what you're doing is working, almost all of that can be done extremely far in advance. So my first tip here is find a social media calendar, download it, and fill it out at least 1 month in advance. Social media calendars are all over the web. Google social media calendar, you'll get, I don't know how many tens of thousands of links. You can browse through a couple, see which one has the best format for you and how you're using social media and even what platforms you're using. We have one available in the attachment and link section. You can use it, customize it, make it your own. But the best thing to do is get the calendar, sit down, start thinking about the entire year, really, before you fill out a month's worth of your calendar, because now's the time to start thinking about seasonal offers, when you want to have sales, maybe around holidays, and when are high and low times for your business. So is there a sort of low part in the year for you that you could be ramping up that conversation, giving exclusive social media offers in advance of, to keep those estimates coming in the low time, or keep those customers coming in the door, so that you don't have so much fluctuation. But once you've thought about the whole year, just at first, fill out 1 month. I think if you make a manageable goal, it's easier for you to meet it. And then once you've done 1 month, if you feel like you can do 2 months or 3 months out, go for it. Decide what you're going to post, what days you're going to post them, but also decide on this calendar which of the posts you might want to pay to promote. So a promoted post in Facebook, for example, we have promoted tweets, and Instagram. You can do this really on almost all of these platforms, LinkedIn as well. You spend some money in order for more people other than just those who follow you or like you to see. And, all of these platforms have great targeting filters. You can choose people based on interests or region or profession, and so on and so forth. You can get really granular, but it allows you to get that post in front of people who aren't already having a conversation with your business on social media. And if it's a post about a sale or a special offer, I think those are the ones that you think about promoting first, and you can promote in increments of as low as $20. So you can really test this very cost effectively to see if it's bringing new customers in the door, or if it's getting existing customers in your neighborhood back in the door after not having seen them in a while. You also want to make a budget in this calendar and think about which of your events, your posts, you might want to do as an ad as opposed to a promoted post or a regular post, because you'll get even more granular filter opportunities to get them in front of new eyeballs. And a lot of the posting on social media is about interacting and creating loyalty with existing customers. The social media ads and the promoted posts are an excellent opportunity to get new customers in front of your business. So now, writing the post, deciding which you're going to promote, how much you're going to spend, which are going to be ads, and how much you're going to spend for at least 1 month in advance. You can think about the images that you need to plan in advance as well. So we all know, as we look through our own Facebook feeds, that social media is all about images and videos now. And, I think that the images is one place where small business owners get really jammed up in effectively and consistently using social media to promote their businesses. We don't have Photoshop degrees, we're not all art directors, and we frankly don't have the time to sit down and figure all this stuff out. I think there's two really simple solutions for that. Use photos. Everybody has a camera in their pocket. They have their smartphone. Take your phone out and take pictures on the job. Take pictures of customers, take pictures of your employees, take pictures of new merchandise coming into the stock room or being loaded onto the truck. Photos is going to be the easiest way for you to have a really nice image-forward social media presence. But for other types of images, I found a great tool called Canva. It's CANVA. You can design your own images using drag and drop templates. Most of them, all you'd have to do is enter your text, and then you can download them either for free or for as little as $1. And you can use them over and over again. So you create this image on canva.com, you customize it with your text, even your own colors. You can get as intricate with these images on Canva or as, sort of easy as you want. It scales up and down based on your capacity to do this type of thing. And then you download a JPEG for $1 and you upload it to your Facebook feed. It's that easy. So now that you have your posts planned, you have your images and your photos created and planned and saved and ready to go, and you know how much you want to spend that month, I like to use a tool called Hootsuite that allows me to take all of that, all those posts, all those images, all those links, and load them up across all the different platforms. So Hootsuite can manage Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, all of it in one spot. You load it all, you schedule it for a date and time, and it goes during that date and time. If at some point you change your mind, you want to edit, or you want to change a schedule, time, or date, or you want to delete it, you just go back into the calendar and you edit your post. It's that easy. And Hootsuite actually is free, and then you can do some add-ons and things like that and get up to, I think the highest point is somewhere around $50 a month. But it also gives you all kinds of great bonus reports to help you understand what's working and what's not. So I like Hootsuite. There's all kinds of other programs that are very similar, but Canva and Hootsuite are definitely my two top social media marketing tool recommendations. So now that you have things planned, you have your calendar, you have your budget, all your images, everything's loaded into Hootsuite, it's ready to go out, you're starting to build your presence and have these conversations. It's really important to monitor what's going on so that you can make sure that you're doing more of what works and less of what doesn't, so that you're not wasting a minute of your time. The first 6 weeks, I think, are going to give you the most insights into what's working and what doesn't work. And that's the first 6 weeks of this whole plan. Whether you're new to social media or you've been doing it for years, but you're now starting to put a little bit more of this organized framework around it, you're going to start to see what days of the week you have an hour to sit down and plan your next months of posts. You're going to start to see what types of images people are liking and responding to. You're going to start to understand what your promoted post filters are working for you and bringing new people in the door, and what isn't, and where to put more dollars. So 6 weeks, plan to spend a little bit more time just as you learn and start to make a habit of a lot of this. Going forward, review your reports, your stat reports, either on the platforms or just within Hootsuite, where it sort of brings it all into one place for you on a weekly basis. And I would schedule time on your calendar the same hour every week. So again, it's a habit and it doesn't fall off your radar. Be sure to review the targets that you're using for your ads, your promoted posts during this hour. Make sure that you're looking at what content's really working, what types of sales are really working, and then expand or contract on those different areas as needed to make sure that your efforts are efficient and that you're actually turning this into new sales or new customers for your business. So now that your social media marketing machine is humming along, you need to, hopefully you're seeing your audience grow, you're seeing more interaction from the audience you have. You need to find a way to reward your customers for allowing you into their lives via their social media platforms. It's really a pretty personal thing, and it definitely deserves a nod in their direction. So what I've always liked to do is some sort of exclusive offering just for your social media followers, which does two things. First of all, it gives people an incentive to follow you in the first place. And second of all, it gives people an incentive to actually read and look at and interact with your posts, which ensures that your posts will keep getting in front of them. So a great idea is alert your social media audience to sales in advance of everyone else. Offer to come in and let them shop pre-sale. Post exclusive offers just for your social followers. So if you're a contractor, maybe a post on social media exclusive for our Facebook fans. Schedule your free estimate during the month of June and get 5% off your purchase. That would be a great social exclusive offer to throw out there during one of your slow seasonal periods to start getting those estimates juicing up and back in the door so that you can fill your pipeline. And then a bonus tip, now that we're rounding it out, we hopefully left plenty of time here for some questions, is take it offline. The first thing that comes to mind for me when I say take it offline, in terms of social media sort of starting to mesh with the real world and your real life interactions with your customers, is to ask your customers where they found you. When they come to you, hey, where'd you hear about us? If it's not social media, that's okay, but also make sure on the flip side of your interactions, as you're closing out that interaction with those customers, do you follow us on Facebook? We give a lot of exclusive offers on Facebook just to those followers. We have a lot of pre-sales you can shop. It's really worth doing. We're at XYZ Plumbing. That's a great way to sort of bring this back into the real world and remind them that it's worth interacting with you, even when they're not right there in your store. Also, taking photos at live events or sales and posting them on social media, just sort of a window into the day-to-day of what's going on at your location or when you're on the job. That's a great way to sort of bring the real world into those social platforms. And again, it's a great way to load up a catalog of images for your social media without having to learn Photoshop. And then you can also offer special savings for customers who post from your brick and mortar location. So if you have, if you're an attorney and you have a client, you could offer a special ebook and some special advice or a free consultation on something for them if they post a photo of themselves in front of your sign out in front of your office. Or if you're a plumber, let us take a picture of you when we come out to fix your plumbing problem and post it on our social media site. We'll give you 10% off your bill. These are all great ways to just sort of show those real world, real customer interactions on these social platforms and sort of tie it all together for everybody. So that's it for today. And I think we still have plenty of time for the Q&A session.
Yeah, we already have a lot of questions coming in, Sarah, so I think we should just dive in. Just as a reminder, everyone, though, you can submit your question under the Ask a Question tab. So you did mention earlier in your presentation that these targeted posts and putting a little money into, turning these into ads can be a really cost-effective option for small business owners. We have someone who would like to know, what is an appropriate budget range for promotion for a small business that's just starting out?
Well, I think that I typically say you need to think about how big your audience is. So, Facebook will really answer this for you, to be perfectly honest. If you go in and start tinkering with these targets and filters for promoted posts, as you drill down, it will show you how small your audience is getting as you apply more and more layers of filters. So if you're in a very specific geographic region, if you just want women, ages 35 to 41, if you just want women who have an interest in organic gardening, obviously the more filters you apply, the smaller the audience is going to get. And I think a great place to start is $25. Honestly, I would start that low, but I would have my eye on that day that it's running. And if I spend that budget in a couple of hours, I know that not only do I have the right filters, but they're responding. I'm going to load more budget into that promoted post. I'm going to take it up to 50, or I'm going to add another 100. So it's a really great opportunity to make a very small initial commitment and respond by adding more dollars based on whether it's really working, as opposed to the other way around.
Great. Yeah. Very helpful. So going back to what you were talking about earlier in terms of reviews, we've had a few questions coming in about how to find those reviews. Mm-hmm. Do you have any advice there in terms of resources for actually finding these online reviews?
Yeah, so there are definitely a number of options in terms of scanning the web for customer reviews. I have to stay loyal to my company here, because Manta does have a tool that will run a scan. It's free, that will run a scan of the web and can deliver all of the places where your business is mentioned in customer reviews and recommendations, and then you can follow those back to those sites and start responding to them. So, being that it's free and it's Manta, and I, love Manta and work for it, I've got to start there. But if you want to avail yourself of a number of different tools just to make sure you're not getting different results, or one scan tool isn't finding something maybe that another isn't, if you just Google online review scan, you'll find, a handful of them. Some do cost money, and others are free. So I would start there. And then I always recommend to small business owners, set up a Google alert for your business. It's really easy to do. If you just type Google Alerts into Google, you'll get some really easy, super easy to follow step-by-step instructions. It'll help you set up a Google Alert. I would actually recommend setting it up not only for your business, but maybe for your competitors as well. And then what it'll do is every week it'll send you any sort of mentions that Google's picking up that has your business name in it. Now, this is not by any means a review scan. It's not going to catch out everything, but it is helpful, and I highly recommend it.
Great. I think we have time for one more question. And we have, you mentioned already some good strategies for business consumer, but could you mention a couple strategies that are best for the business to business?
Oh, I love business to business, because before I started at Manta, that was the sort of the meat of the clients that I served. So B2B is tricky in terms of social media. Attorneys, CPAs, anyone who serves commercial enterprise stuff. I have really had a tremendous amount of luck with LinkedIn, and to be perfectly honest, LinkedIn ads as opposed to just the organic posts. Now, you have to have a business page on LinkedIn in order to access the ad profile, and you should definitely be posting there, because I know that when people are vetting a company, a lot of times they do look at their LinkedIn presence just to do a check. And this is especially important for hiring and recruiting as well, just as a side note for businesses who may not be B2B. But LinkedIn ads, they're so affordable, they're so easy to optimize and iterate, and they're frankly super easy to build for just your average layman. So I would start there. And I would definitely optimize LinkedIn first, and then start thinking about Twitter as probably the next line that you need to be on.
Great. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Please follow Manta on Twitter. That's linked earlier in the presentation. If you'd like to revisit any part of this webinar, it will be available to you for on-demand viewing within 24 hours. So if you want to go back and listen again to any of Sarah's great advice, it'll be there for you. We'll also email you a link. And please be sure to check out Manta's other webinars, which are linked in the attachments tab, along with additional materials related to today's topic. Everyone, we thank you so much for joining us. We really hope you've enjoyed this presentation.
Thank you.